Hey everybody, I don't like this video because I'm still not exactly clear how people get into my locked tent. Um, I'm not still clear about how people still get to stick me and I don't see it. Sometimes it takes me up to 2 days to realize I've been stuck with a needle. Sometimes I don't even realize I haven't, and I will find what you see scabs over needle holes. I don't even know they're there. I can take a bath, a shower, and never see them. For a long time, I was covered in that Middle Eastern cakey clay makeup, and then when that started coming off, it was just dirt. So I'm still not sure how they're getting me out my tent. I know that's fascinating to know, but it's also fascinating to know for me. But I know they are because every day there are new needle marks in my body. I ache all over from where they are sticking me with needles. This is gang stalking 105, people. This is the way they're going to treat you. They're going to make you want to kill yourself. And this is for bully awareness. This is for targeted individuals. They're going to make you want to off yourself. Because they're going to do things to you. And you're going to wonder how they're doing it. You wonder why people looking at you weird. You wonder why people see. So one day I took my camcorder up there. And I remember walking out the building, seeing a guy on my right smoking marijuana in a red and black hoodie. When I made that left, that's all I remember. But when I went and reviewed the video on my camcorder, I saw 10 minutes of it into action. I don't know if it was me or not. But that man moved from one side of the curb to the next, and my camcorder picked it up, even though my actual eyes did not. And I keep thinking about they keep spraying me with something, or something is befalling me. There's a video on here on TikTok and a couple of my video pages where this man sprays his woman and she goes out and he robs her. There's an actual video I got from TikTok and reposted it on TikTok. And it shows you a couple other videos, but that's the one I wanted to show you because that's essentially what happens to me. I can't even explain it. And I think about all the times of the video I saw when I went to a 7-Eleven run by a Middle Eastern man. I can be in there 2 minutes. But I have camcorder video of me being in there at least 7 minutes. I wouldn't wish none of that bullshit on nobody. So I'm going to say it again. Edward Swanton stole thousands of dollars on my Medicare and said it was an overpayment. This is not misinformation. This is my information. Then his lawyer, Barry Goldstein of Orange and Brown, said, nope, Barry, Edward didn't come to you as a doctor that day. And I said, you're right, he didn't. He was dressed as a patient across the hall. I remember making a video about that man. Back all the way in my archives. And it rings true today. I didn't know who that man was. 8 months later, I Googled his name and it was factual. That was the dude who told me to lay down and die. And they can say that to you and sex traffic you all over Maryland because the government is involved. Didn't they say gang stalking is government related and bullshit? I don't know about any of that. But I do believe the mayor is involved because of something Antoine Mason Sr. said, Stephanie Brunson Matthews Newman said, Thomas Whitley Jr. said, and Marianne Bullier. It was something they said collectively, and that's how I knew they all were involved. Now, Marianne Boyd was on that jury with me. I nominated her. I don't know if she was actually nominated. I don't know how the process worked. I was the only newbie on the trial. Everybody else was the one before. I was the first one. I didn't know what was going on. I'm looking around like, somebody help me. Okay, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So Marianne Boyd was number 1. And I can't remember if I was 4 or 5 because, like I said, it was a lady in a wheelchair who sat in front of Marianne on the side of her. So I always considered her one when she wasn't. I don't know that woman's number. So according to that, I was either 4 or 5. I'm going to tell you this. Before 2017, 2018, nobody knew who I was. After that trial, I got gang started. I got thyroid removed. I lost 300 pounds. I got needles stuck in me in places I would never stick a needle in another fucking being. I got men following me around like I am the fucking prostitute of the year. I got people looking at me looking crazy, and I couldn't tell you how, what, or when. I just know how I feel, and I know Edward Swanton is the vein of that existence. Remember, when he said, that's what I told myself, remember, Teller. That man told you to lay down and die. Remember, I said if I survive this night, I'm going to come back and tell the world what you did to me. And since either thought you was thinking I was going to die, or I was going to be so intimidated and scared that I wouldn't tell a hot soul that I'm being raped all over Maryland, I tell you bus schedules. I tell you bus numbers. The bus schedule get changed. I tell you street. I say Key Highway. This is what's happening right here at Key Highway. This is what's happening here in the harbor. This is what happened here in Middle River. I'm telling you where it is happening at. And nothing gets done, but you find missing kids who OD'd. I guarantee they was a murder for hire turned to look like a suicide. This is target awareness individuals. That's who Edward Swan, MD, is. In Maryland, we got a dignity to die law. Is it a law yet? Because it means if your doctor, your psychiatrist wants you dead, if anybody wants you dead, they can call 911 and say, I just saw that motherfucker slit his wrist. It could be a lie, but don't matter. 911 has their report. They're going to fly with it. That hospital get that report. They're going to fly with it. Unlike me, they were not supposed to give me preventative care. If I walked through the door and I said I was supposed to commit suicide, whether it was a lie or not, you gave me preventative care 8 hours after I entered a hospital. At least 4 after John Falk left me sitting in a bed doing nothing. I ain't had no metformin. I ain't had no quinapril. I ain't had no Loxapine, nothing. And I was a newly patient. He didn't even take my blood. And you gonna tell me I ain't gang started? I'm crazy out of my mind? Read my medical records. Read that deposition. Listen to Edward Swanton and Barry Goldstein talk and tell their lies. I ain't gotta say nothing. Those medical records says it all. It says I was supposed to die, but they ain't get it right. That's why they ain't cross their T's and dot their motherfucking I's. This is for targeted individuals. This is for bullying individuals. This is for awareness. Yup. Hashtag my docu murder.